It seems like just the vibe because of what Patrick Mahomes was able to do in Buffalo and in Baltimore. It seems like the feeling is the majority of people think, oh, this is just a continuation. He'll just put the punctuation on this, then he'll walk away with number 3. Are you both feeling that this is just a Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, we was actually talking about this earlier, and it's like it's starting to feel like a lot of people are feeling like that because just like you mentioned, Holly, they went on the road versus a team led by Josh Allen, went on the road versus a team led by Lamar Jackson. And then you look on the other side, the 49ers, they've been scraping by. They really probably should have lost their last 2 games, but the 49ers are here, and now we're all thinking, Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, getting number 3. They're minus 2.5 point underdogs now, but the Niners are in the game. So they just have to be better today. Their defense hasn't been playing great, but they just have to be better one game. So it's easy to say that, and I'm picking the Chiefs, but, any given Sunday.
I think we've collectively realized picking against Mahomes and Reed is bad in the analysis business.
Yeah.
It's bad in the betting business. It's just bad business at this point with the track record that we have with them. But at the end of the day, the Niners are still favorites in this game.
Right.
By 2 points. That's what a lot of people are missing.
And legitimately favorites? I mean, if you take the Mahomes, picking against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is we say this. Hey, you can't pick against Patrick Mahomes. But, last week they scored couple weeks ago, they scored 17 points.
Yeah.
They scored 17 points in the conference championship. That's all they needed to do.
Yes.
But they were shut out in the second half.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you can't deal with it.
Right.
But
is it a legitimate
I'll say,
lie?
I'll say this too, though. We all might agree, especially recently, if not the whole season, the Ravens' defense is a hell of a lot better than the 49ers defense right now. The Packers are giving the 49ers trouble, the Lions as well. And I'll tell you this is why I believe the 49ers are 2-point favorites. You take the Mahomes thing out. They're clearly better at the quarterback position. But when you go position by position, running back, you'll take Christian McCaffrey. Receivers, You'll definitely take Debo and Ayuk. The tight end position, kind of a wash, but Kittle's been better this year. Offensive line, you'll go 49ers. And on the defensive side of the ball, you'll maybe only give it to the Chiefs on the defensive back end. So from a team perspective,
collectively you give it to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But individually, you give it to the Niners.
Yeah, when you break it down by the position groups, the Niners will have more wins in those categories.
Lawrence Jackson, Connor Rogers are here. Connor, didn't we say this last year? What Lawrence just said, wasn't that the story last year with Philadelphia?
Yes.
You look at it.
Yeah.
Right. Individually, break it down
sure.
in Philadelphia, and they're down. And remember, they're down at halftime. Mahomes appears to be hurt. Is he going to be able to come back in the game? What's going on? And then he was perfect. He was perfect in the second half.
They had no answer.
They had no answer. So is that really what it is? You got Patrick Mahomes plus experience.
Yep.
I think experience does factor into it.
Indeed.
And sometimes you don't even know why you think you're going to win. But those guys, we're going to win. But the matchups don't favor you. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We've done this before.
I think it's because they know how to handle adversity because they have so much experience handling adversity. You just said it. Last year's Super Bowl, it wasn't just walk in the park across that game. You had to find a way to win. It feels like they've had so many moments this year where they've had to find a way. And you could say that for the Niners in this playoffs. I mean, it didn't look good for a long time against Green Bay. They found a way. Yeah. Did not look good against Detroit at all, and they absolutely found a way. So I always look for teams that can win in a variety of ways. We spend so much time on Mahomes and Reed and how great that defense is because we should. The Chiefs, differently this year, though, with Pacheco, that ability to have a power run game, I think that plays really well against the Niners front. That, Nick Bosa's great, Fred Warner's great, but there's a lot of questions in that front seven. Can they stop the run against the Chiefs, and then do they have to sell out against that run that opens things up for Mahomes?
Yes, sir.
Lawrence, you already mentioned him. McCaffrey is a great MVP candidate. We know that. I mean, just amazing. So he is the best running back in this game. Can you tell me somebody who runs harder and more aggressively than Pacheco? I can't really think of it. I think he may be the hardest running back in the league.
And it's a challenge for these defenses in the playoffs. And if you'll notice, versus that good Ravens defense, he didn't have a good yards per carry, but they never got away from the run, so the Ravens had to keep respecting it. He at one point he had 16 carries for 47 yards, but they were doing something the Ravens weren't doing, running the ball, and that was keeping the Ravens defense off balance. They saw what the Lions did to the 49ers in the running game. They saw what Aaron Jones just went crazy on them. So they've given up 3 rushing touchdowns in each of their past 2 games. They're going in there with Pacheco is probably a long shot to win the MVP for the Super Bowl game.
And I like that call.
Yeah.
I really like that call. This could be a game that's dictated by him because you need him for multiple reasons, not just for your offense, but to keep the Niners off the field as well.
Yeah.
So we know what Kyle Shanahan can do if they have a lot of possession.
So I think the Chiefs, if they win this game, you clearly have to consider them a dynasty. I think 3. 3 is a number. You get to 3, especially 3 in a short span,
right.
Dynasty. So the previous dynasty in the NFL, Bill Belichick and the Patriots. I'm going to ask you a question about Belichick in a second, but Belichick used to say this about running backs. It's not just how many yards they get. He hated 2 things. Fumbles, clearly. Don't fumble. No negative runs. Negative runs drove him crazy. So I'd be curious to see how many negative runs the Chiefs have had in the playoffs. They probably have had a couple of them, but they have been able, but in the Buffalo game, they were able to just do enough. Where Mahomes didn't throw, I don't think he threw 30 passes in the divisional round against Buffalo. He was in the 20s, like 25 passes, 26 passes. Against Baltimore, same thing. Kansas City was running, and Baltimore abandoned the run, which is like, what are you doing?
They were never out of the game either. Never out of the game.
This is how you guys got here. You're a running football team. You have a quarterback who runs. You got 2 good backs who run.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.